You're appearing in my dreams. I'm trying to stay woke, but you're sleeping on me. So I'ma do this on my own. Guess I'm going out solo. I just wanna.
Yeah, this is the Connoisseurs of Hip Hop. My name is Scanduce, the Hip Hop Original. You know, shout out to my partner in crime, DJ Tom Foolery Beats, and everybody that's locked in tonight, man. Whether you're with us live or if you're locking in a bit later on the Instagram, on the IG live channel, you know, we're gonna salute you as always. You know what I mean? Definitely encourage you to check out some of our earlier head-to-head shows. You know, we've had some incredible guests, man, and had some beautiful interviews, beautiful conversations, you know, and especially if it's artists that you've never heard of before, man, take this opportunity to, you know, discover a new artist and and follow the series, man. So far we've had, obviously, me and Tom, we spoke about our book. If you haven't got that yet, make sure you go get that. Connoisseurs of Hip Hop, The Interviews, Volume 1, which is out right now from Amazon or exclusively from our website, connoisseursohh.com. Yeah, you know, make sure you support us, man. It features 20 of our most infamous interviews. So definitely get that. So yeah. Alright, excited we're getting it right this time. So we're about to be joined by Sus Bully for episode number 8 of Head to Head, man. You know?
Bro.
We managed to get the bogeys out of Instagram Live.
Man. Yeah. I don't know why. It's like it only worked if I sent a request for some mad reason. But...
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's playing games, man. It's all good, though. How you doing, man?
I'm alright, you know, bro. I'm alright, man. Yeah, I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. See, you got the superstar lighting, bro.
This guy.
You got a music video shoot, bro.
Nah, man. This is my little. I got a little art studio that I work from, so I got some art that I do in a little studio hidden away, man. So
wicked. This
is my little spot to stay creative and record and do stuff, man. So yeah, just here, man.
That's a big look, man. That's a big look, bro. So I mean, if you're not familiar with how we are processed with these interviews, bro, we're just literally gonna take a little journey, you know, from the beginning. You know what I mean? You got into the game. You know, we're gonna talk about the music.
How long you got?
We got.
Have you got the charger on? Have you got? Nah, man. I'll try and keep it as brief but as descriptive as possible, man. But
yeah, man. So this really is just for, you know, mainly for the audience that are the people that are fans of your music, and for the people that may not be very familiar with you, man. So, you know, we're gonna keep it broader, man. But the first question I'd like to lead with, bro, is how did you come up with the name Sus Bully, man? And was it your first name, or is it an evolution of a name?
It was evolution. Won't go into what the names were before, but that was when I was mad young and it was crazy. But Sus Bully came about. It was almost like me and a couple of my boys, when we first started doing music, we started like admiring our peers, the ones that came before us on like the battle scene and performances at like Subterranea back in the day and Mean Fiddler and all, talking way back. So for us, we were like the young whippersnappers looking up at them, but we had a problem where we kind of weren't getting put on or we weren't given a chance. It was almost like, no, you guys stay in your lane and you stay over there. And it was almost like being targeted to a degree. So my name first started out as being Suspect. Okay. And it was almost like, right, how can you do that's a bit negative? And I was like, no, it's basically all eyes on me, everything. Everyone's pointing fingers at me. If there's a problem to do with something, it's always aimed and targeted at me, my people, or the music that we're trying to do. It was never made easy for us, as most people can see, but it was like at a time when there wasn't social media and you had to physically go to the radio station to try and get your songs played. It was an absolute nightmare. And then it was like very clicky who you knew and who you didn't know, and your name would ring out for different reasons. And it was just crazy. So I just said, you know what, let me spin this negative term and just say, you know what, let me be who you say I am. And I'll make it work. And I just shortened it after a few years to everyone called me Sus. And then that was that. So the Bully came about years later after doing a lot of like work on the hip hop scene. Started out doing like the battle scene and stuff like that. At a time when you had the likes of like Chester P, Reveal, and a lot of them, we were there kind of in the shadows a little bit, just seeing how things were working and then putting our 2 pence in. And we started to be on the scene for a lot and getting little buzz and stuff. And then I decided I was going to put a band together.
Okay.
And then that's how that worked. It was more to do with, it was at a time where trying to get booked for gigs, like really good gigs, as an underground MC was virtually impossible.
Right.
Like, it was like, if it wasn't a hip hop show, you weren't getting booked. Yeah. And my thing was, I wasn't satisfied with just a mic and a DJ.
Right.
So I made it for myself. I took it upon myself because me and my boys, we'd been working together since school. So you're talking, we were in it for about 7-8 years already. And we just said, you know what, artistic differences, let's venture into things and grow and then come back together again, you know?
Right.
And I decided I'm going to do the difficult thing in trying to put a band together.
Okay.
It was like a love-hate thing because it was almost like you were managing and parenting at the same time. Yeah, and it was stressful, but it was so satisfying because of the fact of the audience grew. It was no longer just a hip hop audience. I could then get booked at, say, places like Camden, every venue in Camden. We were doing gigs, and it was like, that's kind of where I learned my craft was with the live band, because we were getting booked for shows where it was rock shows, goth shows, heavy metal shows, doing hip hop, learning how to adapt the band to put little sequences and sounds that they could relate to as an audience. And we were always on the back foot because a lot of the crowds they didn't want to hear hip hop. That wasn't their thing. But we made them fans at the end of it. So it was almost like we were always like fighting to please a crowd that wasn't there for us. And so it was basically the school of hard knocks. And that's where, you know, my energy and trying to give my all every performance was, because I'm always out there trying to prove to someone that doesn't believe that, yo, you know what, that was actually dope. I don't really listen to that music so much, but I like what you did. And, you know, if that's the steps, the baby steps, then I'll take that. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy with that. So that's basically how it started. And that's why I called the name of the band Backyard Bully, because it was basically like pushed to the back, not accepted so much as a band on the hip hop scene, because the hip hop scene at the time couldn't accommodate a band at all the shows. And I kept, you know what I mean? And it was like, yo, no, we're just gonna bully for our way through, man. And you know what I mean? That's what we did. It was like against all odds, and that's how it came about. So I just kept the end of that name for myself and affiliated it to Sus Bully, and here we are. That's it, man. So
nice, brother. Nice, man. Yeah, and that's something we have in common, man. Because I used to head an 11-piece hip hop band back in the day as well, man.
There you go.
And a lot of the same struggles we had as well, man. It was
bro.
Chaos, you know.
I'm to this day, the hairs on my neck stand up every time I think about the rehearsal sessions. Yeah. Who's not turning up for the recording sessions? Who didn't rehearse the songs? It was almost like, oh, someone's falling out with this band member, and it was like, yo, I'm going crazy here. And then I'm focusing on that, and I still got to go up there and perform the songs.
Yeah.
Crazy, so crazy. You know already, man. So I'm glad we're in the same space with that.
I feel you on that one, bro. But who would you say were like your early influences and inspirations, man, when you was honing your craft?
It was more, I would say, my love for music was really, really young. My first introductions to like hip hop that I could actually like understand and realize that's what I was listening to as a young whippersnapper was like, it was Beastie Boys and Run DMC. And that was just based on my brother having those cassette tapes. Right. And I was like 5 years old, and I didn't know what I was listening to, but that was getting spun every weekend on the radio. So I was listening to that, and it was like, okay, cool, I like this. And then it was weird because I was in a household where like my dad, like he's a sound man, a reggae sound man. And like my mum, she used to do like part-time singing, like jazz singing as well. So it was very eclectic. And then my brother was very left field, so he listened to rock music, hip hop, whatever it was. So then as I grew up, I became like introduced to things like house music from early. Early. My mum was a little raver, so she was out there playing the music. It was mad. So I had that, and then I'd turn on, I had my own radio, and then I'd turn on and realize, oh damn, like got the 279 show on, Trace FM on a Friday night. And then you had, I think, was it Monday night? I think it was Big Ted and Shorty Blitz. Like you had them early on in the week. And it was like, damn, I didn't know who these guys were, but they're playing all these tracks that I love. And I remember I lived on an estate where my mum was like anti everything. So where everyone got cable, we never got cable. Yeah, we had to ride the 4 or 5 channels. That's showing how old I am. We had to ride those channels. So when everyone was talking about the box, video music box, we had nothing. So my brother was lucky enough. He was someone that was into like pirate videos and getting the tapes and stuff early. So every week used to come with a compilation. It was like a mixtape, but videos of all the latest videos from America. And that's when I started to see things like Mike Geronimo and then the early Mobb Deep videos and the Nas videos. And I was like, whoa, like this resonates with me hard. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I finally thought like, let me try and do what they're doing. Let me try and pick up a pen and try and write. And this was like really, I was like 12 years old, 13 years old. And I was doing dodgy things like stealing a line from each of them and trying to put it all together in a rap and then it was terrible. But that was like my early beginnings of really saying, bro, do you know what? This is something I really love, you know? And it was just a love that just never went, it never left. Like I was, you know, even to this day, I remember back in the day, I used to go like Brixton and I used to go like to like CD Bar and Red Records, buy a CD. And the first thing I wanted to do was read the credits and read the albums, like see who mixed it, who engineered it, who played the instruments. It was like it seemed like a nerdy thing. Some people like comics. I was like, I want to see the CD, the inlays from the CDs. You know what I mean? Oh man. And it was like you sit there or talk to the guy behind the counter for about an hour, 2 hours and go. And that whole thing, it was almost like, it wasn't just about hearing the music here today, gone tomorrow. It was a whole experience. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, even buying the albums, it was like, you look at your collection, it's like it's like collector's items of albums there, just compiled, you know what I mean? And those were my early, you know, that was it that influenced me, was like the Mike Geronimo was very East Coast based before like, obviously the Snoops and the Dre's came about. And I'll tell you one embarrassing fun fact though.
Okay.
I was really young and I went into a record shop and I was like, I want the new Ice Cube album, right? This was way back. I can't remember what album it was. I want it on cassette. I didn't have the money for the CD yet. I want it on cassette. So the guy goes, yeah, sure, here you go. So he gave it to me and I just put it in a bag, didn't look, went home, played it. And I was like, I'm hearing all these songs and I'm like, I don't know who this is on these songs. I'm not feeling this album whatsoever. This was not the album. I wanted the album with Ghetto Bird on it, and I was like, yo, like this is not it. I went back to the videos. This isn't none of these tunes. That tune's not on this album. Who's this guy rapping? I'm not rating this. Like I went back the next day, stormed in there, wanted my $5.99 back, got my money back. I said, I want Ice Cube. This ain't Ice Cube. So he gave me the album. When I look back, I realized it was the first Biggie album.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, and the thing is, I know this is bad. The thing is, that was my first introduction to him. I didn't know about him before then.
Right.
And it was like, the album came out pre any videos or anything. It just came out. It was like new this week. And I was adamant, I wanted Ice Cube. I weren't trying to hear nobody else. I didn't want to hear nothing else. So I think played on the radio eventually, and I was like, everyone started talking, this guy Biggie, and I was like, oh damn, like, yeah, let me go back and humble myself. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that was it, man. It was more of an East Coast kind of influence and stuff, man, and it kind of, it just grew on me, man. You know what I'm saying? That whole underground and like boom bap scene was just like everyday life, man.
Right.
You know,
so how did we get to the point where you're in the studio now recording your own solo material? How long did it take that process? How long was that process from when you started writing?
I think that I don't know if you want to include with the band, because the band obviously was my creation, but basically I started making music with a producer and an artist who's known as Dukas. He also mixes, masters and produces some of my work as well to this day. We've been like boys since we were like 13 years old. And now he's producing and engineering for every artist in the UK on the main stage and in the charts at the moment. He just got a record deal with Charlie Sloth as well, so he's doing really well at the moment. But what it was is we'd been back and forth doing battling, we'd been doing performances, we tried to earn our stripes as, hungry young artists in the day, getting knockbacks. We got offered like record deals, development deals. We've done all of that. We started performing on house tracks. We've done a lot. We even went to the States just to gain experience and work with artists over there. That was like early 2000. And that was kind of like the building blocks to understand what it is we're here for.
Right,
so
right.
knowing that we've worked together for years, that was never going to be a problem working again. We're in the same camp, we're boys. But it was like, we need to spread our wings and really, you know, bring something to the table that we both learned, you know, on our own. And my thing was, I love performing. That was it first and foremost. And I wanted a band from day one. So that was it for me. From then on, it was like, I had a band. At the time, I couldn't afford to get them all in the studio straight away. So I started learning how to produce songs myself.
Right.
Because my boy was like my right-hand man. He was the producer. He's like classically trained. He was a producer. It was like, we pushed for him to get the samplers and the MPCs and everything. And it was like, he took care of business. After that, it was like, I went my way and it was like, damn, I got to learn how to do all of this. So it was like, okay, let me try and pick up a guitar. Let me learn how to do a riff. Let me learn how to play a little bass. Let me learn how to make a little beat. Let me learn how to sample. And I got a little assistance by like studio engineers and stuff. And I started to create my own stuff, bring them to the musicians and say, can you lot replicate that? And it was like, yeah, we can do that. No problem. 5 minutes, done. And I was like, all right, this is it. This is the formula. And since then, that's what it's always been. To this day, I'm still with my band and stuff. We've evolved different, obviously, players, session players and stuff, but the essence of the band is still there. You know, it has to be there. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of which, we did drop a project earlier on in the year.
Earlier on this year?
Yeah, we've done that already. It was a little crept under the radar a little bit, but we're going to be revamping it and actually dropping a video we didn't release in December, and a couple of live performance videos as well that we recorded. So we're going to let people know about that. It's very relevant to what's been going on in today's society, man.
So you kind of got like dual careers going. So you got the band stuff and you got your solo work as well.
I think, I kind of have. I just feel like it's a piece, like it's like elements of me. Okay. So the content is pretty much the same in terms of what I speak about. However, when you've got a band, as you know, you can express it differently. Like when I'm with the band, or if I'm producing music that I'm going to pass on to the band, I already know where that's going to go live. That's going to be 100 times better than what it is in a studio. Do you know what I mean? When you've got musicians that can just take it somewhere else, like it can just evolve. A song that was 3 minutes with 16 bars, a chorus, 16 bars, is now something that can go for 12 minutes with improvisation and all kinds of stuff. So I keep that in mind as well. It just, when there's other things on my mind and I haven't got the band around, that's when I probably just write with other producers, or I create stuff as well. And it's like, I got to get this down now. And I just end up compiling music. And I no longer do it where I have a plan to release an album or release an EP. I don't say, right, I'm going to do this. It's just, I'm very, spontaneous. If I like something, I record it, I put it down. I don't listen to it again. I don't look at it again. It's done. Move on to the next one. And then the next one, and then the next one. And then I'll sit back when I'm not recording and I'll be like, right, what have I done? And then I'll listen to it, and then it starts kind of coming together. And it goes like that. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but it's just a case of consistently trying to record as much as possible. Do you know what I mean? So
right. Yeah. So obviously, with both of us appreciating live hip hop element, and obviously performing with a live band is to me personally superior to just seeing a man performing a backing track.
For sure.
Why do you feel there isn't more of that in the scene? Why is there not more live hip hop bands?
I think you could answer that as much as me. I just think for exactly what we just said, there's a lot that goes into it. And I don't think a lot of people want to take on that responsibility. Do you know what I mean? I don't think they want to take on that responsibility. I don't think it's no easy feat, because it comes with its level of punishment. Do you know what I'm saying? It can take its toll on you. You can find that you're changing musicians left, right, and center. You know, I've had it where how many times on the night of a gig, I've had a guitarist call me and say, I can't make it, sorry lads. And then I'm spending the next 2 hours, rather than focusing on performing, I'm worrying about who's gonna fill in. Or I now have to do a gig without a guitarist. Do you know what I'm saying? I think I would like people to evolve. I feel like people do it as they get to a certain level. They start realizing, or they realize that a band is not accessible to them. But I just don't think sometimes people want to put that time in. I think it's more convenient to record, get up and go, and then just go and perform it. Rather than just take a step back and be like, hang on a minute, this would be dope if I had even just a drummer that just lays over the top live, or just get a bass player in to play with the DJ, just something different. And that's what I kind of yearn for. I always, when I see gigs, that's what I want to see something that I'm going to learn from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something progressive. Like, I don't mind if it's just a guitarist and a drummer. That's dope if you can make that work. I don't care if it's, I'll perform where it's just me and a drummer. Do you know what I'm saying? No music, it's just beats, breaks. And for me, it's like, you're right, we need more of that. I really haven't got an answer for why. I just feel like we've got to continue doing it in order to show them there's another way. Do you know what I mean?
Man, real talk. And it was always like great to see acts like D'Angelo, Erica and Jill, and you see them live and they just take their songs that you hear on the album, they just take it completely somewhere else. Even with Lauryn Hill. You know, it's just like some next levels, man. So it's an annoying in a good way. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you already like adore what they do, and you can't think it can get any better than that. Yeah, but they just take it up a notch, man. You know, and that's why we gotta appreciate the live, man. But as much as if we appreciate the live, then you got IG Live that plays about with the connection and reception. Are we back? Yeah.
Go on, man.
Wicked, bro. Yeah, so we're just saying that we appreciate obviously the live element of of making music, man. You know. So I mean, so obviously over the years, man, you've been very highly prolific, bro. And in terms, so if we had a new listener that was coming in to check out your work, right?
Yeah.
And they wanted to hear like the essence of Sus Bully, man. What 5 projects would you recommend for them?
Jeez, man. You're asking me that now. I have to think off the top of my head. I would say, of most recent, I would say Sunset Resonance, which is an EP I done last year, which was with a producer called Black Keys Beats, who I've been working with for quite a few years. And that's more of like a mellow, soulful kind of lo-fi vibe, like very kind of Slumville / kind of lo-fi-ish kind of feel to it. And I can say that for sure because that's been more of the direction I've been going in with my music moving forward at the moment. It's something where I found like channeled a little pocket there where I'm just happy to sit in there and just do what I'm doing. So I'd definitely say Sunset Resonance. What else would I say? Algorithm, which is the Backyard Bully EP, which also came out last year as well, or early this year, which is quite politically driven. A lot of stuff that we're talking about in there is pretty relevant to what is happening in the world right now. And it's literally took us, we were discussing that project for about 4 years. And we started writing it 3 years ago before any of this stuff. When we're talking when Theresa May was in office, man, like early Theresa May, and it was like, we could foresee what was happening, where things were going over here especially. And we wanted to touch on certain topics that no one wanted to talk on. Like, as in, what does it mean to be British? Yeah. And in terms of, do you feel like you're British? Do you feel like you represent being someone who's British? And it was crazy because we had a lot of people who were pretty mixed with that. They were like, hang on a minute, I'm from here, but I don't feel like I'm from here. And a lot of people are like that. And I said, well, do you know what? This is open. This is open forum. This is something we need to kind of discuss. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Still make it enjoyable music, but we had to kind of touch on something that was close to home. Do you know what I'm saying? So definitely that. Another project, I think it's First Draft. Okay. That's another one. I think you'll get that on my Bandcamp as well. You're making me go back, man. Jeez. Oh my gosh. I can say individual songs because I tell you what I have been doing in the last couple of years. What you might find is I've been more steering towards putting out singles as opposed to projects.
Right, I hear you.
That's more of the direction I'm going in now because I feel like the way it's like the climate in music can kind of shift pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I've become more of a free spirit in terms of I just make what I want when I want and how I feel, you know, and just put it out there for the people. So one day I might want to do something that is totally just left field and not what you would be used to hearing from me. Yeah. And then the next day I might turn around and do something with the band. So it just depends on what pocket I'm in at the moment, but I just try and make sure you get a full experience and you get the quality that you deserve. So that's why I think what you'll see is I put out quite a lot of music videos as well. And that's off the back of not worrying about a rollout for an album or a project. It's just one song I might put out and just say, I'm doing a video for that. And I'm putting it out there and I'm giving it the same respect as if it was an album or an EP. So that's that. And I will continue to do that. So there'll be more of that.
Man, and one thing I noticed, obviously, whilst researching for this, man, you done a lot of cuts with Tom Misch, like early.
Yeah, done a couple bits. I let you in on that. I kind of started doing that unofficially. Then I hollered at the manager after. So I was a bit rude on that one, like, but that's what we did, and they said it was cool to just drop, you know, do what you want to do because it wasn't like I was doing it for financial gain. It was more of I love the music, I love the vibe, and what it was is it's strange. Is I don't know if you're familiar. I've done a lot of my visuals with Louis London.
I noticed that.
Video director. We've been working together for about 5-6 years, and he's literally very spontaneous and get up and go. We've got major respect for each other. So I might send him a song via email, and within 20 minutes he's like, "Bro, I've got an idea. Are you available this evening?"
Right.
And I'm like, "All right, let's go and do it." I might have not even learned the song yet. He's like, "Let's go." And we'll go out there and we'll shoot. And it was almost like that was the kind of formula we had when it came to just putting out songs like continuously. And I just loved the consistency and the work rate that he had, do you know what I mean? And the quality of the stuff he had. And we just built a relationship of that. And to this day, we still work together, man. So it's love, man. But yeah, that's it, man. The Tom Misch thing was like, it got a really nice response and stuff. And yeah, man, it was just good to do. I might do it again. I don't know if he'll let me. But we'll see in it. Who knows?
Man. Well, one thing I noticed about you, man, it's a good thing you mentioned the Louis London stuff. I noticed you pay a lot of attention to detail when it comes to the visuals and the artwork, which comes with your projects, man. And I'm guessing that's an intentional thing.
Yeah, I think, do you know what it is? It's a formula here, bro. I think it's a formula. And what I think is it's like me and him are like a partnership in terms of I respect what he does. I respect like his work and his creativity. And I feel like it's important to let somebody spread their wings and express that without you trying to restrain them and confine them to what you have in your mind. Especially if that's their field of work and their expertise, you kind of got to let them breathe a little bit. A lot of the time, you know, we're musicians, we can be control freaks, we can be very analytical, we can be those minute details. Sometimes I've learned over years, let them breathe. Like, don't be breathing down their neck, making sure every little minuscule thing, because then it becomes a chore rather than something they enjoy. The point is, it's about enjoying it before it being seen as work. Regardless of what money's involved, it's important that you're both on the same wavelength. And that's what it was. I allowed him to kind of be like, yo, whatever you see in your mind for this project, bring that back to me and then we'll work from there. Okay. And sometimes he'll be on the money straight away and he'll be like, yo, I ain't gonna do nothing, let's go. Yeah. But for me, since, you know, years ago, it's always been a thing of every song that I've written with the intent of seeing the visual in it.
Right.
Even if I don't make a visual, I'm trying to see if I can paint a picture with the song that I'm making, basically.
Right.
And if it gives me that feeling like, wow, like this could be a crazy visual. I can see everything is the vision is clear. Then I know I'm on the money with it. Yeah. So when it does come time to making a video, it's very easy because I'm already thinking about how things can be placed and the style and the idea and stuff. But most of that in terms of visuals is just referencing a lot of other artists that I respect or directors, man. Come on, man. We're from an era where we used to watch like Hype Williams, man, and Little X and all of those. And then you're like, whoa, like I don't even know how your brain even thinks about doing the things you've done historically. And then I go into like looking at short films. I like people that are more left field, like Spike Jonze.
Okay.
Like, and Spike Jonze, you know, obviously he done like the Fatboy Slim stuff, and he's done films called like The Cell, very weird futuristic movies and short films and stuff. And it was more about, I saw it like him as an individual. It wasn't about the budget. It was about how creative you could be with very little.
That's right.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I always say to people, when you keep complaining about, I ain't got an Arri cam or I ain't got a red cam to shoot this Spielberg thing. Well, what's up there first? Because if you're going to shoot something in one room or just sitting beside a car with a bottle of champagne, really that creativity is not going to go anywhere. However, if you're creative, you can make that bottle of champagne and that vehicle a work of art. Yeah. But you've got to have that up there. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's one of those ones where, you know, you can't, you're not limited because of the equipment that you have. You're limited in your mind. You have to be able to kind of know what direction artistically you want to go in. Yeah, man. So that's it, man.
Yeah, and I noticed with a lot of your artwork, man, it seems to be anime inspired as well. So you're a big fan of anime, or?
I wouldn't say I'm a nerd. Like I'm more the old school end of it. I just got an appreciation for it. In all honesty, I've got an appreciation. I was from the era of obviously from loving like Akira first and foremost, and then I went from Akira to like I wasn't really into I wasn't a Dragon Ball fan. Ghost in the Shell, Evangelion. Like I was into that, and then you had series called like Samurai Champloo, and then you had Afro Samurai, and there was various other little ones, and then Fist of the North Star as well. So you know what I'm saying? It was like that era. It was like it's almost like it's very nostalgic because the era that I liked in it was when I was probably younger, where it was all new to me. Whereas now, like there's endless amounts to watch. There's a few that I watch now, like Attack on Titans, and a couple of others I can't remember off the top of my head. But there's a few of them that I watch now that I think, okay, I'm still getting that vibe of the old school feel, but it's done in a more modern way. But I can't say I'm not a connoisseur of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really that, but I've got an appreciation. I can say my son, he keeps me up to date. Like he's just on it hard. Yeah. Like I think Tokyo Ghoul and all kinds of other. Yeah. Too many, man. Too many. Right, nice.
Yeah, man. I see you also very much into your photography as well, man. Like especially the way your Instagram's laid out as well, man. It's very artistic as well.
Listen, all right. Let me be clear. I've got my photographer here in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is my boy. This is my artistic director. You can't see him. He's hiding in the shadows.
Okay, nice.
I did my best. I swear. Yeah, he's a musician and photographer and artist. So this is my guy, man. So. Like a lot of my early artwork, even my new stuff. Sometimes I run it by him because he's got an eye for it, and it's allowed me to kind of appreciate things from a different place. You know, I always look at things as it's not always what you see is what you get. You know, you can a lot of people you might say, hey, like you know, this is a blue bottle of paint, like so I'm gonna take a photo of that. Well, no, why do you have to do that? Let's make it pink, even though the title of the album is blue. Do you know what I'm saying? Just do something a little different and how you angle it, and you know what your subject is. So I'm a huge fan of like looking at everybody else's photography, different photographers, different art, going to galleries and just checking things out and just gaining inspiration and drawing from that, and also obviously creating my own little art bubble as well. Like I'll draw a lot of inspiration from that. But I try not to look at a lot of what other artists are doing so much, but sometimes it's a good reference point. But yeah, it's I just feel like the main thing is no rules, man. No rules, no boundaries, don't limit yourself. So the first thing you've got to do is just get yourself out of your comfort zone. And as my boy always says, it's like pause, but you got to be naked. You got to feel naked. And what I mean by that is you've just got to feel like you're bearing your all. You know, that way you're not gonna have that feeling in you as if to say, oh man, am I doing it right? You're not second guessing yourself. You're gonna be like, yo, this is me, effort. This is what I'm about. Like, that's how it is for me. I just feel like the braver you get with it, the less hesitation you have. You're just gonna go gun ho with it. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at now. It's like nothing is off the table.
Real talk,
you know what I'm saying?
And I saw someone write that in the chat earlier on, man. No rules. So that's kind of like the catchphrase right now.
That's it, man. No rules, man. No rules. We're going with that. Man.
Cool, man. So we're here at the release of the new single, Nightmare. And with you and Parky, man. So give me a bit of a backstory. Like, how did the relationship with you and Parky come together? And the title of the track.
Mutual respect, first and foremost. I haven't known Parky personally for a long time. Okay. But obviously, in terms of, you know the scene already, you cross paths or you know of each other, you know of people he worked with. And I've seen a lot of the work, obviously, done with his cousin, the Fly Hooligan as well, as well as loads of other like artists and stuff. And I've always been a fan since it's Me, Myself, and like Akai projects, like beats and they're ridiculous. And I was just like, this guy's nuts, man. Like, but I never had a direct line to him. And I always felt like I don't really try and reach out too much to people. I feel like it's not in an arrogant way, but it's more like if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, we will cross paths eventually. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if I try and force it, well, then that might just have a different energy, and it's just not the way. So I don't know if he reached out, but I think one way or another, one of us reached out as we crossed paths somehow, and it was like, yo, man, like we definitely need to do something. And we chopped it up on the phone, and he sent me a couple. He you know him, he posts endless joints on his, and I was like, I must have fire emoji'd or some corny shit or done something. And then he DM'd me and he goes, bro, I'll send this to you now. I was like, for real? All right, let's go. Let's go. So he sent it to me and I was like, nah, I'm all over this. And it just went from there. I didn't have a plan. So we've got like 4 or 5 tracks sitting there. And
sick.
Yeah. We got no plan. No, it's spontaneous. And he knows as well, normally I might call him and say, bro, I shot a video for this, or we're dropping this. And he'll be like, oh yeah, send that through. And it's like, that's it. So it's just, you know what it is? I think before music as well, we've got a mutual respect that we're both family men, you know what I mean? We both we're on the grind and work hard for, you know what I mean, our families, our kids and stuff. And that's where the bond, kind of grew, is that respect first as a man, as a person, you know, and we're all Arsenal fans, isn't it?
Of course, fam. You got to put the team first,
you know what I'm saying? Ripping the team, you know what I'm saying? So,
do you know, one day, and I'm just putting it out there in the universe, because I know there's a lot of gooners in the UK hip-hop scene, man. We need to come together.
We have to go see a game, or we need to go link up. Don't worry, hey, I've got a projector here in the studio. Everyone come and watch the games, you know what I mean? Like, come here and chow down, man. Do you know what I'm saying? And hey, I'm not far from you, you know. I'm not far from you.
There you go. Yeah,
we'll speak about that. Yeah, I'm not far. Trust me, I'm in your neck of the woods right now. So
wicked, man. We need like a hip hop Arsenal faction or something.
Hip hop Arsenal. Like, there you go. Yeah.
You know, all of that.
That's big. That's big. Hey, we're coming for AFTV. You know, we're coming for
that. Real talk, bro. Real talk, man.
Trust,
real talk, man. Yeah, man. Nah. So basically, we might be getting a Sus Bully Parky project coming. At some point.
I think possibly. I think I might just keep it spontaneous. So I might just turn around and keep supplying you with singles until there's enough tracks, and then say, hey, I'm going to compile them and put them out.
Wicked.
That might be the end of next year. That might be early next year. I don't know. But we're riding a wave at the moment, man. And as you say, I'm quite busy in terms of other stuff I'm doing, and Parky is endless. So. He's not sitting, the respect is also, neither of us are sitting on our hands waiting for the other person to do something. We're actively working. So when it comes about, it comes about. I'm just happy that I'm working on stuff with him. You know what I'm saying? It's an appreciation for someone that gets a lot of respect out here. And, you know, I'll continue to do that as long as I can. And the main thing for me is I want to just try and shine a light on anyone that I work with, you know? And even if I don't work with you, if I've got respect for you, I'm happy to share your stuff or pass you on any information to whoever can help you, whether it be with a visual or photography, or because for me, I felt like, and I know I'm going beyond your questions, I'll probably answer it by saying this, but I felt like for a long time, I'm someone, if you know me, I'm not always around, I'm not always in the scene, I'm not always at every show. And it's not that it's calculated, but that's just how I am. I'm not someone that feels the need to be there 24/7, but I try and find my own little way to kind of impact the scene or help the scene in some way. Do you know what I'm saying? We're grown men out here. We've got responsibilities and things, so I can't be out there 24/7, like, you know what I mean, like I was like 16 years old. But I try and do it in a way where maybe if I'm not around for certain shows, if I put out some music that's gonna allow you to think a little different or see things a little different. If there's a visual that you think, oh damn, like he went there with that, right? My next visual, I've got to get there, or I'm topping that. Then I'm helping. And then when you do see me, it's nothing but love. There's no one on the scene that can really say they've got a problem towards me or a hatred. Everyone, I've got a mutual respect. I'm not into hearing no foolishness about this person over here said that, and I'm not this. When I came back on the scene, because I disappeared for a long time. When I started in music, I basically started to do things in the background for a few years, because it was just more of, I was raising my kids and I thought, let me do more of the writing side of things. So I started to like travel a lot, and I was working abroad with a lot of artists that were signed and writing music for albums, signed to major labels. So that was tying me over. I was doing big festivals in like Portugal, Spain, France. And that was it for me, like reaching 90,000 crowd capacities and like supporting Foo Fighters on stage. And it was mad. And no one really knew. I just kind of kept it to myself and just kept plugging away until I felt it was time to come back to the scene. And I came back to the scene, and then I was told, oh, that person ain't coming because that person don't talk to that person. And I'm like, what is this? And I was like, what part of the game is this? Because I said, you know what? I'm going to go over and talk to him. And then I'm going to go over and talk to him, even though them two don't talk. But if I'm going to be that glue, then let me be that glue. I'm not going to try and play, you know, like happy relations between. I'm just going to be the person that's going to try and show you, like, physically, it ain't that serious, man.
Real talk.
And I'm trying to say, it's not everything is money to me, but here's how I equate it. I look at it like, these are third world problems. No one ain't no millionaire out here trying to do this on the underground scene. Everyone's going back, paying their bills and looking after their family right now. So really and truly, we've got other issues that are more important than worrying about whether this guy didn't send a verse back in time, or this guy had 5 minutes too long on the stage, or didn't big me up. I don't want to hear none of that. If that's it, miss me with all of that. I'm too grown for that now. You know what I mean? So more importantly for me, it's more about everyone coming together, keep the ego at the door, and we'll all benefit in the long run. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just wish it was more like, I wish it was like that a lot sooner. I'm glad it's kind of there now, but I just wish it was like that at a time where a lot of things, a lot of opportunities could have come our way. I just felt like we were very fragmented on the scene at a stage where everyone had the same goal, but not everyone wanted to unify and do it together, so to speak. And it's a shame, but you know, it's life, man. It happens, you know. So
real talk,
you know.
bro. Real talk, man. And looking how this year has gone, man. You know, obviously you're a man that loves a live show and thing. What has the experience been like for you? Obviously putting out new material, but not being able to tour it and push it how you'd usually push a project. So how have you been able to adapt?
How have I been able to adapt? Let's see. I missed the live shows, I can't lie, but I'm happy doing without it for a little bit as well. I'm content in terms of not doing them. And the reason why is because I've done it for so long. I think it's more I miss the rehearsals. Okay. Like getting everything right, just basically going, you know what I mean? hard as hell in rehearsals, like ironing out all of the problems, creating new ideas to your music, and then knowing that the end result is doing a show. That's kind of like the relief. Do you know what I'm saying? But for me, I've had another outlet. For me, I've been able to jump back into doing my art, like a lot of my painting stuff, and I'm creating a lot of like abstract, like industrial furniture and things like that. So I'm doing a lot of creative stuff. Like years ago, I used to like customize clothing and stuff. So I'm just playing around and keeping my creative head going. And I've been able to this year acquire like an art space in an art gallery as well. So it's still allowing me to stay creative and tie it into the music. And I think the benefit now of this day and age where we can record at home or record not having to spend loads of money in a recording facility. I think for musicians, I feel like nothing's changed for you.
Right.
Nothing's changed for you. I feel like this is the best time for you to kind of find out who you are or where you want to go with what you're doing. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel blessed to be able to say, do you know what? No one can say, hey, stop, you're not doing that.
Right.
Because I ain't listening to that anyway. Like if I want to create something, I'm coming straight to the spot. I'm recording what's on my mind, pick up a paintbrush, create something, and I'm good to go. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's therapeutic, as you say, in this day and age with what's going on at the moment. A lot of people, in my opinion, are listening too much to people telling you what to do when you have a brain and you have your own opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to preach, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Before all of this happened, I wouldn't have any random man turning around and telling me I have to pay double the price for a pint of milk, or I can't buy toilet paper here, there, or on it. It ain't happening. So for me, I'm in a space where my mindset hasn't changed. It hasn't affected me in any mental capacity. I just stay creative and I try and stay inspired, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
man,
just being happy, man.
Man, that's inspiring and motivating to hear that as well, man. You know.
Trust me, man. Listen, there's always someone doing worse than you. Do you know what I mean? And as I said, if you can record your music and that is your trade, and you gain happiness from that, bro. Like I'm not trading that for anything right now. And you know what I'm saying? Like right now, people who live life through like a material lens, struggling right now because that has no value in the world. In the grand scheme of things, you take that all away, what do you have? Do you know what I'm saying? Can you keep moving forward? Is there more substance to you as opposed to just talking about what you have, what you drive? I know so many people are still spending £800 on trainers. That's fine, but they're in a box in your yard because there's no clubs and bars open. Yeah. So do you know what I'm saying? I'm not judging you if you do it, but I'm just saying there's got to be some level of logic in what you're doing, man. Like it's not making, some people are not making sense. I feel like a lot of people who you believed had control don't actually have self-control and are struggling a lot right now.
Real talk.
You know? So when we get out on the other side of this, man, we'll see who's still treading water, man, who's still floating. You know?
Real talk, man. Real talk. So going forward, man. What's obviously the singles out now, and we're pushing.
Yes.
We're celebrating that on our platforms, man.
Yeah. Sorry, appreciate you lot supporting that, man. Nightmare, man.
That's all good, brother. But I mean, so what have we got coming in the future, man? I mean, obviously you've opened up the dimensions. You're not just giving us music. You're giving us art, installations, all of that stuff. So what can we come to expect from you going forward, bro?
Right. The next thing I'm working on is as I said, I'm currently going to be dropping a few visuals we've had in the tuck with the Backyard Bully project that we had. That's also with my partner in crime, Elijah John, or Elijah Light on Instagram, singing vocalist on there. Got him rapping on this project as well. That's a madness. So
nice.
Yeah, first time rapping. So yeah, man, it's all good, man. But we're gonna revamp that so people are aware of that, because I think it got missed. It went under the radar. So we're doing that. But next year, I'm actually building stuff right now. I'm actually creating a short film series.
Wicked.
A 3-part short film where I've got 3 different directors that have directed each scene from not even each scene, each part of the short film. So they all got a segment each, and I basically created 3 songs as the soundtrack to each part.
So you're going to be acting in it as well, right?
Nah, yeah, I am. What am I talking about? I am. Sorry, yeah, I am. I'm buzzing.
Showing us next levels now.
Oh, allow me, man. I'll try to keep that at minimal. It's more of like the visual side of it for the effect. But yeah, that again is very relevant to what's going on at the moment in my own kind of weird little way. Basically, it's I'll tell you a little bit about it. I haven't told no one, but it's more to do with the basis of being a Ronin, which, if you know, is basically like a casted out samurai in Japanese, like, you know, past history. Is basically you're part of a dynasty, or you were like a soldier in terms of a samurai, and you may have betrayed or done something which they weren't happy with, and they cast you out. So you're almost like this lone samurai now. So that's what they used to call Ronins. So what we did is I saw looked like a transcript. Basically, I found out that there's these laws that a Ronin lives by, and it's 21 laws of a Ronin. And basically, everything about their life, they follow these rules to the letter. So every part of their life is based on these laws. They won't do anything if it's out of those laws.
Right.
And I looked at them and I started to read them, and I realized how close they were to modern society. And then I looked at them and I thought, if we took on just a fraction of those laws in modern society, we would be in a way better place. So it's certain things, not, you know, just not lusting over things that you can't have. Stop complaining and fighting over things that you can't fix and change. You know, looking after your health, focusing on yourself before others in order to bet. It's crazy. So I felt like that is what's needed at the moment in this day and age. So we created a short film that's basically representing somebody who represents the people against the establishment, and the establishment are basically the oppressors, the government, basically. So we've done it in a very abstract way, a very artistic way. We've also got Daytrix, which is an American animator, animation company, Daytrix, who are based now in Holland, who are going to be working on a part of that as well. So yeah, man, it's a lot. There's no time on when that's going to come out. It's ready when it's ready. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no dates on anything, but we're like 50% there with it. And yeah, man, I'm enjoying it. The music's done. 2 parts of the visuals are done. We've got one part directed by Louis London. We've also got Honey JD, which is a young director who owns the Loud House channel on YouTube. He's basically a front runner and a director for a lot of like kind of the new wave artists, underground artists that are out at the moment. So I'm loving what he does, and he's very ambitious. So we worked on one, and then we're gonna have an animation as well. So yeah, it's going down, man. And it's all produced by Black Keys, the producer, again, out of Milton Keynes. So yeah, that guy is serious, man. If you ever need some beats, holler at him, man. We're gonna have to shout. He was in the chat earlier on, man, so we're definitely gonna have to... he was?
Yeah, he wanted you to expose your first rap name.
No. See, I'm not even seeing that come up. I'm just waffling, and I'm not even looking at that. Oh, mate, I'm not doing that.
Big up Black Key Beats, man. Yeah.
He's a good guy, man, and very, very down to earth. Yeah, Black Keys, I see you. You're not hearing about that first name. We're not doing that. That was something I can't even expose. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's
I said that question.
It's love. Oh, it's you that said that question. Oh, it was my boy. See, you see that?
They're on to you, bro. They're on to you.
Trey on me. Traitors, man, amongst the squad.
I know it's a cringy thing.
Oh, don't.
I know it's like, you know, you thought a lot of yourself at that point. You just had it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. You know see, he's trying to get me out of character. He's trying to put me out of sort, man. Nah, man. But yeah, man.
Wicked, man.
But yeah, that's it. We're just working on the shorts.
Yeah.
With the music to go with it. The plan at the moment, we're not sure, but we might, hopefully, I might look about potentially like touring it in the galleries around the country or around Europe and stuff. It's not something that I'm trying to release as a project or as an EP, because I could very easily do that and just put these things out as music videos. But for me, once again, like what I said before, it's for us to kind of show people that there's another way. You know, we have to kind of push ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd love to see my peers do the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, show me something that I'm like, damn, I haven't, I haven't done that. I want to see a lot more of my peers' music on films, TV, and adverts. You know what I'm saying? Getting placements. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's important.
Fam, that's something us two will need to discuss going forward, man. At some point, bro.
Trust me.
Because I'm here for all the visionaries, man, all the game changers, man. That's not thinking a standard boom bap on, There's so many more dimensions to this hip hop, bro. Where we can take this going forward, man.
Don't worry about that. That will end up being your pension, man. You're good after that. You do that and you're laughing. You can sit back and you haven't got to worry about anything. And then, just to see your music kind of placed with visuals, epic visuals, and so, it's something else, man. I've been lucky enough to have that a couple of times, and there's nothing like it. Seeing your name go up on the credits, or they've created a scene and completed it with the music that you've made and stuff, and it's a great feeling, man. I've got something that I put out, I think it was 2 years ago, that was nominated for a BAFTA. I've done some music for as well, and I've done some film stuff as well with my boy Duke. That was starring Skepta and Meghan Markle as well, actually, one of her last films that she done. So that was crazy. So man, we've done little bits, man, and definitely want to do a hell of a lot more. We'll do a lot more.
Wicked,
hold up a minute. These two men are having conversation in the messages to get. This is wrong. All right, cool. Say nothing. Hey, Keys, I'm not recording them tunes for another month now. That's shut down.
Wild, bro. Man, so if the people want to get in touch with you, man, what's the best way, man? How can they hit you up?
Instagram is the best one for me. Instagram. If you want to directly reach out to me, it's gotta be on the Instagram. I'm on there more than anything. I touched the Twitter and stuff. I've boycotted Facebook for a while now. I think for me, it's just not being funny. It's just one platform too many for me with too much cringy shit on there. So I just leave it alone. I like stuff where I can just home in on people that are doing what I'm doing, as opposed to finding out what my auntie was doing last week for dinner. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't deal with it, man.
Too much, bro. I mean,
there's too much emotion on the Facebook, man. I can't.
You post your music, man, and then you got your auntie or your nan commenting on it, and it's just.
It's gotten like that a couple of times, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, giving your government name and all of that out on. No, we can't do it. So I'm trying to narrow it down, and to be honest with you, it's not even for any reasons other than I feel like, and this is one message I will definitely say, this is where I come from. I see social media as a tool, which basically means it's something that you use, it doesn't use you. And I feel like that's gotten lost. I feel like a lot of the time we treat it like we're slaves to that. We have to put it on Spotify, our music. We have to put it on the streaming site because that's where everyone goes. We have to use Facebook and we have to update every day. Otherwise, the algorithm's not going to work properly. Man, it depends on what you're in it for and what you're doing. Because I feel like as genuine as you are, if that projects out to people, they will take that on board. Look at you. Prime example, you've got artists like the Griselda lot. You've got Rock Marciano. You've got a lot of these artists who put out pieces of work. Even like UK-based, I'll say like Jugs and Michael Parkinson just put out a project. And for me, that's a piece of art. Do you know what I'm saying? I look at that and I think, Juggernaut, I look at that and I think, do you know what? Like, if you're a fan and you like it, they're giving you a bespoke thing. Do you know what I'm saying? And you can appreciate that. It doesn't matter if your boy doesn't know what that is. You know that that's the shit. You know? And for me, that's what's important. I might just focus on Instagram and do my stuff on there because my time allows me to do that. I can get what I want out quickly and done. And I haven't got to go to 3 or 4 different sites to do the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm just not trying to be a slave to it. Like it's the same with the music videos. I put the music videos out because for me that just completes the picture of what I was trying to do with the music. If people take it on board, they do. If they don't, they don't. But for me, what I found is, like I'm sure you know, social media, you might feel like you've got on a certain amount of views or a certain amount of streams, but then you go to a show and everyone's like, yo, I heard your tune and da-da-da. And you're like, bro, I don't know who you are. I've never seen you message me or anything. But it travels further than just the person who immediately listened to it or followed you. Do you know what I'm saying? Your name starts ringing out in different places that you didn't know was even existed. So I take social media thing as a pinch of salt. I use it as a tool and I don't let it consume me, man. So do you know what I'm saying? That's it. You're not gonna catch me. All right, I do post things a fair bit, but you're never gonna catch me doing it to a certain regimental T. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna feel like I have to post every day, or do you know what I'm saying? Plaster a video every day and no. Like when I got something to say, I'll share it. Do you know what I mean?
Real talk.
That's
bro.
me, man. That's me, man.
Real talk, bro. That's where it's at, brother. You know, and
Yeah,
salute
for
to
real.
Juggernaut, man. Juggernaut's going to be joining me on this on Monday, actually.
Oh, sick. There you go.
He's episode number 9. But
I've never bumped heads with him. We've messaged online and stuff, but like I've just really respect what he does, man. You know what I'm saying? For Knox and that, man. He's a front runner, man. He's serious.
Real talk, bro. Real talk, man.
That's it,
bro.
man.
Bro, I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight, man. And bro,
Pleasure, bro.
Definitely going to continue to support this, bro. And it doesn't even feel like you've fully scratched the surface, man. I know.
We got enough more, man.
We're gonna bump
season 2.
Real talk, brother, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right.
so
Blessings,
much love
man.
for passing through. Yeah, and big
Of
up
course,
everybody
man.
that's locked in, brother. Much love.
Oh, respect. Oh, my son just locked in at the end. Oh, damn. Sorry, boy. All right, man. Take it easy, my brother.
All the best, brother. Peace.
All right, in a bit. Bless.
It's been appearing in my dreams. I'm trying to stay woke, but you're sleeping on me. So I'ma do this on my own. Guess I'm going out solo. I just want
The Connoisseurs of Hip Hop, The Interviews, Volume 1. Make sure you go get this and check it out. Audio book coming soon, but right now the paper book is live. Go grab your publication, yeah? The Connoisseurs, The Interviews, Volume 1.